Alright, so we have two ways that we factor trinomials. We factor it when either C is positive or C is negative. Each time, this does not have a GCF, and you use the star method. There is. There's a trash can right there on your tower.
We have a lot in common.
You can go home if you're going to keep throwing stuff.
I can't.
And then I'm going to laugh at you and you can't tie your bow tie.
Hey, I'm learning. Mr. Asbury, I was thinking talking about that. I'm going to borrow this. I'm going to need you to give
Alright, so when you're factoring trinomials and they do not have a GCF, you use the star method. The star method, you literally draw a star every single time. And in the star, you put special things. So on the top of the star each time, no matter what C is, you're going to write C. Not the letter C, but whatever the number it is. On the bottom, you're going to put whatever B is, so the number in front of X. How are you confused already? How?
He's a dummy.
And then on the top, left and right, you write your X's. Now, our goal of factoring when it's a trinomial is to find two numbers or two factors that multiply to give you C and add to give you B. And you put those numbers in the bottom left and the bottom right. And those are called your factors. Now, what do you think, when we're doing this, could affect the outcome of our answer? What is very important that we have to watch out for?
Negative numbers.
Negative numbers. Take a point. You have to watch your signs. And when C is positive, there are special rules. And when C is negative, there are special rules. And that's why we have two different flappies.
Oh, well, can we write that? I just didn't know we had to write that. Jair, stop talking.
No, keep talking, please.
No. He just wants me to dislike you more than I dislike him.
There you go.
Alright, so let's... Open the one where C is positive.
You can't make any better.
Alright, so C is positive and B is either going to be positive or negative. So for instance, if I had a problem that said x squared plus 4x plus 3. So you're going to follow these steps every time. The first thing you do is draw and fill in your star using the pattern on the front. Then, since C is a positive number, so since C is positive, both factors, when we find our two numbers, match B. So if B is positive, our two numbers will be positive. If B is negative, our two numbers will be negative. That's all that means. And then we need to find two numbers that multiply to give you C. And I forgot to type C there. Super sorry. And add to give you B. And then you factor. Now, your end product every single time is going to be two parentheses that are side by side. So do you guys remember when we had two parentheses and we had to use FOIL to simplify them?
Yes.
We're going backwards. And we ended with a trinomial as our answer. So this time we're starting with a trinomial and we're going backwards to the two parentheses. I need you to stop. Okay? Because I can see you in the window.
Oh, I'll do my one other pencil.
I know.
Oh, that's why you're saying stop.
I'm Scar. You're a hyena.
That's like
The hyena's lit. And I am the
Not in this version. Alright, so now we're going to factor this. We draw and fill in our star. Now, every time in the top of your star...
wait.
The problem that I made up in my head and wrote down The top, we put C. So what is C in this problem right here? 3. So you're going to put 3. In the bottom, we put B. So what is B?
4.
And then we write X and X. Now we need two numbers that multiply to give us 3 and add to give us 4. Since C is positive, both factors have to match B. So our factor is going to be positive or negative?
Awesome.
Positive. Now what two numbers multiply to give you 3?
1.
What two
1 and 3.
numbers?
1 and 1.
1 equals 1.
Oh, yeah. Miss Asbury, I get a point. Take 3.
And yes, Logan.
Wait.
Now what's 1 plus 3? Ta-da! That's all you have to do. And then the last step is factor, so we put it in parentheses. Now whatever's on top goes at the beginning of your parentheses, and then it's a positive 1, so you write plus 1. Whatever's on top right here goes in the front of your parentheses, and then you write plus 3 because it's positive. And you're done.
Oh, my.
Wait.
That's so cool.
Oh, I understand now.
Just take a moment and process it, and I swear it'll help.
I understand.
What if the 3 was on that side? Would it matter?
That part doesn't matter. Do I know? So that's the point of what we're doing.
That's the division.
Yes. So remember, when we had these two to begin with, and we used FOIL, we created that middle term, right? So all we're doing is we're going backwards from our trinomial and getting two binomials. That's it. And we're using the 3 and the 4 to find these two numbers. All right, let's try another one together.
I got it.
We're going to write it down here. X squared minus, humana.
I'm gonna spell it.
Did you say 7?
6.
All right, 7x plus.
6.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
21.
Stop.
Let her do her thinking. Oh, whoa, get that.
12. All right, so what is the first thing we do?
Make a star.
Draw and fill in our star. Good. Both of you take a point. I don't know what he said. Oh, 12 is C. I also thought you said diplomacy, and I was like, I don't really know how that's going to help, but okay. All right, so in the top, we put 12 like Mark said. Mark gets a point. Who can raise their hand and tell me what goes in the bottom? Avery. Negative 7. Who can raise their hand and tell me? No. You don't know what I'm going to ask. All right, Connor. What was I going to ask?
Oh,
Tell me what
two things, most likely.
you gotta write 2 X's.
Either the 2 X's or going to say which number goes into 7 and 12 that equals.
You have to put the 2 X's.
Sounds so smart.
You get a point.
Oh, yeah.
Now we need two numbers that multiply to give us 12, but add to give us negative 7. Do they both have to be negative or one negative? Both have to be negative. If C is positive, both signs match this. All right, Avery.
negative 3 and negative 4.
Why?
Because negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7. And negative 3 plus 3 times negative 4 is
Good. Take a point. So he said negative 3 and negative 4. Because these two, when you add them together, you get negative 7. When you multiply it, you get 12.
So whenever there's a
If C is positive, both signs match this. Since this is negative, they both have to be negative. Alright, how do I write my parentheses?
X minus 3.
Can someone else answer?
Me.
Aldo.
You do X minus 3. Did I make you say that? And then you do X minus 4.
Good, take a point. Alright, do y'all want to do one more together just to be safe?
Yes, so that I can get the points that I should have got.
Alright, let's go to number 1 at the top.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's about to kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
You got that, Canvas?
Mm-hmm. Alright, draw your star.
No.
Now, Connor Freeman, can you please tell me what goes in the top of our star?
22. 24.
Look at you go. Take a point. Asley, can you tell me what goes in the bottom of our star? Good. Take a point. Tyler, can you tell me what goes in the top left and right? And Belle, can you tell me if my signs are going to be positive or negative this time?
You get the phone.
Logan. They're both going to be positive because both signs are positive. Now we need two numbers that multiply to give us 24 and add to give us 11. Ashlyn.
8.
Ashlyn, your voice got deep and really close to me. 8 and 3. And why is it 8 plus 3, Owen?
You just said it. Come on, Owen.
I mean 8 times 3.
8 times 6.
And
Answer this.
And you add 8 and you get 11.
You add 8 to 3. I'm gonna bang my head.
look at you go. Logan, tell me the parentheses.
The parentheses. Okay. It's x plus 8 and x plus 3.
Ooh, got it.
Take a point. All right, do 2, 3, and 4 without me. Yes.
So it's like 8 and 3. Does it matter in which order?
No.
Okay.
It does not matter which order it goes in. You could write 3 and 8. You'll still get the same answer. All right, do 2, 3, and 4 without me. What, honey?
I was talking the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really wasn't meaning to ignore you.
No, never mind. You suck.
Okay. All right, I got x plus 2, x plus 6, x minus 6, x minus 7, x minus 5, x minus 2. How did we do? How many of us got all of them right?
All of us.
Good. Take a point for your team. Yes, darling. Oh. Okay. All right, now let's find out what happens if C is negative. So if C is negative, you're going to have two different signs. Two different signs. I don't know why we're moaning and groaning. It's easy.
It's not different.
No. You still do the same thing. Alright, so you draw and fill in your star. Since C is negative, the big factor, which means you have two numbers. The number that's bigger, okay? You have one that's bigger than the other, two numbers. It's been an issue since I've been teaching this for some reason. The big factor matches B. You still need to find two numbers that multiply to give you C. Super sorry that I forgot to put that in. And add to give you B. So the only difference is you need two different signs, and the big factor has to match B this time. So if I give you a problem that says x squared, stop.
Stop touching her.
Please.
And you know what we're doing?
Oh, I don't care.
Plus 3x minus 18.
I'm getting a face on. Can I answer it?
No. I'll answer it though.
Do it. Is it right? Good morning. Oh, answer it. I want to hear if you cuss it. Dang. He'll call back. I'll tell you when to call back.
Okay. Alright, so we need to draw our star. You still gotta pay attention though.
I didn't call you a girl.
Alright, what is C this time? Negative 18. What is B?
Positive 3.
Positive 3. And what do I put in the top left and right? X and X. What are you confused on?
Wait 1 second so I can get it down.
What's so funny?
Yeah, just wait. We gotta wait on Special Pumpkin up here.
Come on, Connor.
I'm not. I can't do it. Wait.
Alright, we need two numbers that multiply to give us 18 and add to give us 3. First, what two numbers multiply to give us 18?
6 and negative 3.
9 and 9.
9 and 6.
9 and 2, 9 and 2, 9 and 2.
9 and 2. But 9 plus 2, no matter what the signs are, will not give us positive 3.
6 and negative 3.
Why would it be 6 and negative 3 and not negative 6 and positive 3?
If you add 6 and negative 3, you get positive 3.
Take a point.
Can I take a point because I did
Yes. Now, if I did negative 6 and positive 3, what would that make our bottom number?
Oh, it was
What's negative? Yes. No, baby. What is negative 6 plus? Yeah, and what do we need? So we write it as x plus 6, x minus 3. I miss. You just have to watch yourself. Because 6 plus negative 3 gives you positive 3, and 6 times negative 3 gives you negative 18. We're still doing the same thing. Alright, una más, and then you're on your own. Stop.
Is that top part going to be homework?
This time by tomorrow, we're going to be rambunctious. Tomorrow's like spring break vacation.
I know.
Nobody.
Are you going to do this? Come on, we're going to see her for like 11 days.
I usually going to be drunk like that.
I'll just give you one. I'll give you an elbow bump.
Alright, x squared minus 4x minus 12. First, we need to do what? Make a star. And then we need to put negative 12 on the top. What goes in the bottom? And then x and x. What two numbers? Multiply to give you negative 12 and add to give you negative 4.
Negative 2 and negative.
Negative 4 and positive 3 would give you negative 1.
Negative 2 and
Negative 4 and
positive
positive.
Negative
6 and positive 2.
Yeah, good job, Jagger.
Negative 6 and positive 2.
Can I take could you do negative?
With which one?
Take a point.
2 and negative 6, yeah. You can write it as 2 over here and negative 6 over here. Yes. Wait.
Instead of x, we'll put x and y.
No. What's your question?
Could you do the negative 2 and a positive 6?
If we did negative 2 and positive 6, what would that add to give us?
Oh, positive 4.
And what do we need?
Negative.
Look at us go. X minus 6, x plus 2. Alright, work out 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? We should appreciate my mama. She's a queen.
I know, I want to be.
Alright, and let's do...
Let me give her a hug.
No, she wouldn't. No.
Yes, you know, Jared, do you have any recipes?
Anymore. Alright, I got x. That's 5 push-ups. X plus 5, x minus 3, x plus 8, x minus 4, x minus 4, x plus 3, x minus 9, x plus 2. How did we do? I'm a ninja. I'm sorry?
Yes. Dominique just said it.